Good afternoon and welcome to your social justice lending library. We're going to do some book reviews today. Today is August 6th, 2022 on the Gregorian calendar, and we've got a couple of different, basically two different topics today. So we're going to start with activism, and I really want to start with this book, which is Abolitionist Agroecology. The subtitle is Food Sovereignty and Pandemic Prevention. Is by Maywa, Montenegro, and this is out on Daraja Press, and that's a press that I really like to follow. They publish a lot of books about Africa and politics on the continent, that sort of thing. This is timely. It came out, we got it Mother's Day last year. I got it from my partner. It's obviously timely because of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. It's actually more of like an extended essay, and it's very well sourced. All the sources are cited, and really it talks about the pandemic in the context of capitalist exploitation of the planet and of our resources, planet's resources, and how agroecology is a partial solution to having renewable food sources and things that are less exploitative of the natural world. And it also talks a lot about abolition and how the abolitionist movement can inform agroecological environmental justice movements and kind of health-oriented movements. So that was really interesting. It really is rooted in this concept of the metabolic rift, which comes out of Marxism. And I just want to read this definition to you. It says, metabolic rift, a break in the interdependent processes of social and biological metabolism by which large-scale industry and large-scale agriculture combine to impoverish the soil and the workers. So this is something that was already going on, in the time of Marx and Engels. And so she kind of updates the application of that concept to what's going on right now. So that was a very interesting read, and I definitely recommend that y'all check it out, especially get it directly from the publisher, Daraja Press. Very informative for how to deal with the pandemic or how to prevent the next one. So this is Abolitionist Agroecology. Next, I want to talk about Odyssey of a Mother Country Radical, which I think some of you have seen that I've been studying white radicals in the United States, especially those that were not affiliated with the Weather Underground or the SDS. A book review or two ago, we had read Hy Thurman's Revolutionary Hillbilly. And actually, for those of you that are on YouTube, Hy Thurman is one of the co-founders of the Northern Alabama School for Organizing. And they have been doing a lot of work on YouTube and in their community of Northern Alabama, and doing a lot of interviews and workshops and stuff like that with organizers mostly in that area, Northern Alabama and the South, to help inform organizers. So check out the Northern Alabama School for Organizers. But I picked this book up as well as this one because of a reading of James Tracy's Hillbilly, what is it called? Hillbilly Nationalists. And Chuck Armsbury is the author of this book. He was a white radical. He still is. He's still around. In fact, I talked to him when I ordered the book directly from him, and he was kind enough to sign it for me. If you can see, he autographed it for me. He was from the Pacific Northwest. Well, I think he was originally from Kansas or Nebraska, somewhere around there, but he migrated early on to the Pacific Northwest, grew up Washington, Oregon area, and that's where he got plugged into the Patriot movement, not the right-wing Patriot, talking about the Young Patriots, the ones that in Chicago became part of the Rainbow Coalition with the Black Panthers and the young lords. But he kind of took that idea and brought it back to the Pacific Northwest. Eugene was involved in a lot of different community organizing projects, even ran for city council or mayor, I think it was, in Eugene, and did a lot. Ended up doing a lot of time in prison, in one of the prisons it's on an island. I think they already closed it down, but some island off in Oregon. But it's a very interesting story, very musical. He references a lot of the music that he was listening to, and he traces his family history all the way back and really brings it up to date. And High has actually interviewed him, or he's been on panels for the Northern Alabama School of Organizing. So Chuck Armsbury, I definitely recommend that y'all get this book too, especially those of you that are white, to read about, white people activism, how to be in solidarity with movements for racial justice. So this is Odyssey of a Mother Country Radical by Chuck Armsbury. And last in this section, we have a book called Continuum. It's actually part of a series they call Pocket Change, and we've got a couple of the other Pocket Change books. This is the one we're working on right now. I look Weidman on. So hopefully we'll get to review that one next time. But this one is by Chella Man, who some of you may be familiar with, having been cast in the DC comic book movie Titans. And Chella Man is a Asian American, Jewish, deaf artist, and to some degree activist, and trans man, and it's basically the story of their life, and talking about growing up and coming to a sense of identity with trans identity, and also embracing deaf identity because they do have some hearing. So that's why part of the reason why it was a process to embrace deafness fully as a part of their identities. So definitely interesting for studying individuals who are transgender and the struggles that people go through, especially when you mix in other issues of identity like race and religion. And now working artist and very active on IG as at Chella Man. So follow Chella Man and pick up some of these Pocket Change Collective books. And the next topic is going to be about Appalachians. So we're going to do another video about that.